We all have lives filled with important issues and major problems, but we also have insignificant little bothers that really amount to nothing. I mean, let's face it, some things matter, others don't. Well, having you here is one of the things that really does matter. So welcome to Mornings with Bishop Robert. Thanks for joining me. You know, you're always welcome here. My goal is to introduce people to the Jesus they never knew, and then help them get to know Him and His Word personally and better. So if our time together today speaks to your heart, let me invite you to like, subscribe, and then also share this video with a friend. You know, not too long after my dad passed away, I received a check drawn on the United States Treasury. It was the final disbursement of my dad's pension as a U.S. postal worker. Now, on that same day, I also received a letter in the mail from the United States government instructing me that even though this check was not part of his estate, it needed to be split among all of his surviving children. So that meant splitting it 6 ways. The check was for $9.85. So to do the math, each of the 6 of us would have received a whopping $1.64. Well, not surprisingly, none of my siblings wanted me to send them a check for $1.64. The amount was simply too small. Some things matter, others don't. In the overall scheme of things, $1.64 just didn't matter. A couple days ago, I bought a cup of coffee at a gas station. Yeah, I know, you're shocked. Well, when I received my change back from the purchase, it was 1 penny short. Seems there's a coin shortage, at least in the U.S., that somehow it's tied to COVID issues. So instead of getting 76 cents back in change, I only got 75 cents. Yeah, you already know where I'm going with this. I never said a word. 1 penny short? Some things matter. Others don't. That definitely didn't matter. Well, today's verse asks us a question. If God is for us, who can ever be against us? And the answer is, it doesn't matter. Let me give you one small biblical example. I think one example will suffice. King Hezekiah was ruling Jerusalem when the king of Assyria decided to attack. Hundreds of thousands of Assyrian soldiers and chariots surrounded the city on every side, and they were strong. They were battle-hardened, and they had already wiped out multiple other kings and kingdoms. The Assyrian leaders told the people of Jerusalem, "Don't let Hezekiah deceive you. He won't be able to deliver you out of our hand." Well, they were right. And they were wrong, all at the same time. See, they were right. King Hezekiah had nowhere near enough troops to even mount a serious defense in the battle. But they were wrong, because they thought they were going to have to fight King Hezekiah. They should have stopped when they picked their fight with Hezekiah, but instead they let their mouth keep running. They kept taunting and said none of the other captured kingdoms were saved by their gods. Really? Oh, challenging King Hezekiah, that's one thing. But the king of Assyria didn't know that God, the true God, was for King Hezekiah. And challenging the true God to a battle? Whew, that's another type of fight altogether. So that night, God sent one angel and killed 185,000 Assyrian soldiers. Not surprisingly, the king of Assyria decided to flee back to Nineveh. So let's ask some questions. How many overall soldiers did the king of Assyria have? The answer? Doesn't matter. If God's for us, who can ever be against us? Hey, there's even a battle coming when the nations of the world will decide to surround Jerusalem to destroy it. We're not talking an ancient king with a few chariots. We're talking major armies, advanced weaponry. How many soldiers will they have, you might wonder? You know the answer. It doesn't matter. When the question is asked, if God is for us, who can ever be against us? The answer is always, it doesn't matter. God is for us. And that is all that matters. We're out of time this morning. But before you go, I just want to ask you to help me introduce people to the Jesus they never knew. And then to get to know him and his word personally and better. Do me a favor, please like this video. When you do that, it really does help more people see it. Then if you click follow or subscribe and then that notification button, you'll get a message every time I post a new Mornings with Bishop Robert message. Hey, if you'd like to get on our mailing list, so if there's some deplatforming issues that happen and you can't find me on the whatever platform you're using, just click the link in the description. First thing I'll do is I'll send you a free copy of my book, Count to One, God's Plan for Christian Unity. I'll also put you on our mailing list so that every morning you'll get an email with the link to that day's message. One more thing. Would you please forward this video, share it with a friend? Because as you do, that makes you part of the team, touching hearts all over the world with the love of Christ. Thanks for helping.